Doesn't take much in this game tonight to get a flag thrown on you. There it looked like, again, good defense. You have Cunningham going to the cage, and I thought North Carolina played nice, solid defense. And I don't believe that's a foul. I'd like to see this game won 6-on-6, not man up, man down.
Well, not only is it a foul, it's a 1-minute foul against number 48, Kieran McDonald. I didn't see it, but a slash called against McDonald, and so a minute man-up opportunity here with just over a minute to go in this third quarter for Princeton. So big chance here for the Tigers, down 2. Schreiber, the freshman, bounces a pass, almost got away. That was almost a needless turnover there for Princeton, but it's picked up by Luke Armour, number 16. Armour working his way toward the crease.
I'm not sure what Princeton's doing right now. They're dodging in a man-up situation. This is when you're supposed to pass and make changes in your shifts, and that's just not good offense. Move the ball, make the defense work, and you're going to get your opportunities.
Well, Sonnenfeld's shot was stopped by Madelon, but the rebound came right to Princeton. And now it's number 10, Jeff Fracaro, having the ball taken away. So Fracaro had it knocked out of his stick. Meanwhile, another flag behind the play against Princeton as we come under 10 seconds to go. North Carolina, a delayed call against Princeton, a whistle, and a slash called against the Tigers. So North Carolina will get a man up of their own with 5 seconds left in this third quarter. And boy, the calls have been just flying left and right. Joe Bresci, you saw him there just sort of wave his hand. Let's take a look at this call. There you see the slash in the back. And I don't know, Matt, I've seen a lot worse contact than that go uncalled.
That check wouldn't kill a gnat. I mean, that's sitting there. That is not a penalty. And I think, hello, makeup call. I think that's clearly what it was. But it just, don't let the refs control the game. Let the players do it.
Well, a man-up chance will be coming to North Carolina when we come back. It's a 7-5 lead for the Tar Heels on the road.
The technology selects Sector Spider. Visit us on the web at sectorspdrs.com.
I know I should have health insurance, but on my budget, I just can't afford it. I need help.
I design homes to protect people, but I can't afford health insurance to protect my own family. What can I do?
It's time to call ICANN, a name you can trust. If you've had problems affording major medical insurance or have been turned down due to health issues, you do have a choice. ICANN offers you options including association group insurance programs and major medical plans to meet your family's needs and budget, because nothing is more important than your health. No matter your income or your pre-existing condition, call ICANN right now. If you could save hundreds of dollars a month or thousands of dollars a year, this is a call you can't afford not to make. Tens of thousands have trusted ICANN with their family's health, and so should you. So don't wait. Call ICANN right now. When you call, ask your ICANN agent about programs that include access to doctors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from wherever you are. Don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
All right, we're back here in Princeton after 3 quarters of play, and it's been a game of streaks so far. Princeton got off to a 3-0 lead. Then North Carolina scored 7 straight in the second and third quarters, but the Tigers have been awakened, and they've scored 2 straight to end the third quarter, and they find themselves down 2 here as we prepare to start the fourth quarter here in Princeton. Thomas Wood for North Carolina, a hat trick already through 3 quarters. And for Princeton, Forrest Sonnenfeld, 2 goals, and Tom Schreiber, the outstanding freshman, a goal and 2 assists. And so we start this third quarter with North Carolina man up after a slashing call at the end of the third quarter, and they bring it right in to start the fourth. Chance to extend their lead. Tar Heels on the road, 4-1. And they working around the midfield. Out top, a bounce shot, and it's good. Man up goal for North Carolina, Duncan Hutchins, the freshman.
Assistant number 2, Thomas Ward.
And again, what Princeton wasn't able to do early in the game was put together a couple passes, and Duncan Hutchins gets his hands open, and that's just a perfect bounce shot. And there's nothing Fiorito can do there. You just have the perfect placement, and if you execute like that, your man up is going to succeed at a very high success rate.
Duncan Hutchins, a freshman, 5th goal of the year for Hutchins. Hutchins out of Baltimore, Maryland. And off the face-off, ball quickly comes right into the North Carolina end. A whistle, a push call goes against Carolina. So the Tar Heels, after surrendering 2 straight goals to end that third quarter, get a big goal, man up.
And if I'm Princeton right here, I'm getting the ball to Schreiber and Fakar right here. This is the perfect match to play a little 2-man game and get one of your best players shots and give him the opportunity to make the big play.
Forrest Sonnenfeld, he's got 2 goals, works his way in with that big body and then fans on the shot. The rebound was touched by Madelon. He couldn't control, but now North Carolina picks it up, and on the clear, they'll bring it right through midfield. The Tar Heels, they just dominated a long stretch in this game. Over 24 minutes, they held Princeton scoreless in the second and third quarters. Now off a screen, it's brought in by Jimmy Dunster, number 20. Dunster fed it for a shot, and that was blocked by Fiorino. Another save for Fiorino. He's in double digits in saves. Princeton comes back, and they throw it away. On the unsettled play, ball was missed by Forrest Sonnenfeld, goes across the line, and it'll be Tar Heel possession.
And North Carolina just gave Princeton a gift. You have Chris Hunt, who's a defensive midfielder, taking that shot, which he's not going to beat a goalie of Tyler Fiorito's capability. And then they get that gift and they just turn it right back over. So you can't have that type of opportunity and really not succeed. That's just not going to work. They're 8th turnover in the game.
There you see the turnover numbers, 8-5. And they've started to pile up for Princeton. Not something they can afford at this point, down 3 as we head down in this fourth quarter.
Princeton's going to have to start sliding early on defense and make North Carolina throw those skip passes and the tough passes. It's going to allow North Carolina some opportunities that they can execute, but it also provides Princeton the chance to put the ball on the deck and get a ground ball.
Marcus Holman on the left wing. Makes a move around his short stick defender. Now draws another defender, gets rid of it to Wood. Thomas Wood works his way in, a low shot. Fiorino got a piece of it. Ball out of bounds, backed up by North Carolina.
And you can see there Princeton, Long Ellis slid early, and it gives you opportunities for North Carolina, but again, you're down by 3. It doesn't matter if you lose by 3 or 3 or 6. You just want to have an opportunity to win, and Holman just steps in and absolutely hand cannons one to the upper right of the corner. Marcus Holman, his 2nd goal of the game. And you can just see here, he just gets his hands free. It's pretty easy. No one comes to him, and just low to high, just drills the corner. And this is pretty. Look from this angle. Let's show how impressive it is. Woo! Right, almost wrapped around the top of the crossbar.
13th goal of the year, second of the night for Holman. And I don't know about you, Matt, I could sort of see the look on Fiorito's face there. He just sort of threw up his hands and said, you know, what am I supposed to do with that?
It's like, thanks, guys.
Exactly. You give the guy time to sort of measure me up and pick a spot and just fire it right over my helmet. There's not a lot Tyler Fiorito could do with that. Meanwhile, back at the other end, a shot fired wide by Tyler Money.
Something to think about. Last year when these two teams played down in North Carolina, Princeton was down 5 with 10 minutes left, and they came back and tied the game. So it's not over, but they're going to need to start picking up the tempo and capitalizing opportunities like they're going to have from Forrest right here. You can't bounce the ball from that close. You got to hit the cage, hit the net in the air, make the goalie make a save.
Forrest Sonnenfeld, the big fella at 6'6", 250, out of Fieldston School in Riverdale, New York. Bounced that one wide, and now North Carolina. A 4-goal lead for the Tar Heels, looking to go 5-1 on the year. This Carolina team, they've got some talent and could be a dangerous team as this lacrosse season heads into the month of April. Senior leadership of a guy like Billy Bitter on offense. Thomas Wood, a junior, with the ball right now. Mark McNeil, a freshman, he's got 2 goals.
And North Carolina's got 9 goals, and Billy Bitter shut out. No goals, no assists. And that just speaks about these other players really stepping up and making the adjustments and learning as they get more experience.
You see Bitter here playing with his face to the goal after being behind the net a lot of the first half. Shot from the far side angle. Fiorito makes the save. Rebound was loose there in the crease, but Fiorito able to turn around and corral it, and now a clear attempt here for Princeton, knocked down by Billy Bitter. Good play there on the ride by Bitter. Bitter picks up the ground ball after having it knocked away again and gets it to Wood. So Billy Bitter, impressive play at midfield, forces a turnover.
Too many lost opportunities for Princeton in this game. They've had a few where they've had chances in transition where they've thrown the ball out of bounds. That's a simple catch by Peter Smythe in the open field, and he drops it. North Carolina then out hustles him for the ground ball. You want to compete at the highest level. You can't have lapses like that.
And now it's Mark McNeil, the freshman, 2 goals already in this game. Tangles with his defender a little bit and then gives it up. Now North Carolina's going to make a substitution. Marcus Holman, just in off the bench, will take it on the right wing. Now Thomas Wood to Hutchins, Duncan Hutchins. He's got a goal. Hutchins with Connor Riley on him. Works his way around the backside of that crease. Now a defensive switch. As it's Thomas Wood now with the defender Peter Smythe on him. So Wood on Smythe. A couple of dodge moves.
This is smart lacrosse and execution by North Carolina. They're up 4 with 8 minutes left. Give it to the short stick and attackman and let him kill the clock. A poor decision by Thomas Wood, but also very alert by Tyler Fiorito to step into the passing lane and intercept that pass.
Good looking play there by Fiorito. He saw the pass coming. It was telegraphed a little bit and makes the interception behind his own goal to force a turnover. A much needed turnover for Princeton. And the Tigers will set it up here on offense. Peter Smythe, the defensive short stick midi, sends it off and now heads off the field, and the Tigers will put it in the stick of Tom Schreiber. Schreiber sends it down low. Luke Armour, number 16 for the Tigers, out to midfield.
And this is a part of the game where Princeton's really missing Jack McBride, their senior, a second-team preseason All-American who can really create for himself. And that's what you look for in these opportunities, in these situations, and they just don't have that on the field right now. Outside Schreiber, I'm not sure anyone can win their matchup.
McBride, the leading returning scorer for this Princeton team, out with a groin injury as that shot from Luke Armour bounces wide. And now let's take a look at our player portfolio brought to you by Sector Spiders, and we're talking about Jack McBride. There you see his numbers, career numbers, by far the best on this Princeton team. 90 goals, 25 assists. His 90 goals are nearly as much as the rest of the Princeton team's career goals combined.
And he's just a big, physical, athletic kid who really slashes to the cage as well as anybody.
He had a groin injury really from before the season started that was aggravated in Princeton's game against Hofstra. He missed the game last week at Johns Hopkins, and now again, Princeton forced to play without their senior leader. And we get a turnover here on the far side. Ball's going to go back to North Carolina. And Sunday night, ESPNU is going to deliver a special edition of The Experts as host Lo Galindo and our experts analyzed every single first-round matchup of the NCAA tournament. You're going to watch this to get those first-round matchups right in your brackets. Always important to get off to a good start in those bracket games. All that part of our tournament countdown presented by Delta Airlines. Sunday, 9:30 Eastern Time after all the brackets are announced. Always one of the best nights of the year in the world of sports, and nobody's playing on Sunday night right before the tournament starts, but it's just so much fun to sit around, watch the reactions of the teams that get in, some of the teams on the bubble that don't get in as well.
It's fun to see the bracket that I'm going to get completely wrong the next day, so I do definitely enjoy that.
Hey, watch The Experts, Matt. You'll
exactly
get at least 50% right in that first round.
That's the second shoe we've seen lost today. I don't know exactly what's going on, but maybe North Carolina needs to learn how to tie their shoes a bit tighter.
Yeah, it's Thomas Wood this time who lost his shoe. Maybe it's playing on this AstroTurf. You don't see a lot of these real old AstroTurf fields, and maybe these guys just don't have the right shoes for it. When you make those cuts on the AstroTurf, the shoe just coming off for a couple of Tar Heels. Billy Bitter lost it earlier on. Shot from out top, and another save by Tyler Fiorito. That shot came from well outside, and boy, when Tyler Fiorito can see a ball, he's going to make the save. If he's got any time at all, he's going to make that save. 14 saves now for Fiorito.
I guarantee, though, when North Carolina watches this film, that'll be a play where Coach Bresci highlights to one of his freshman middies saying, we don't need that shot in this opportunity. Goalies are too good for you to be taking a shot on the run and expect to take that quality and get a goal.
Luke Armour now for Princeton. Tigers will take some time as we come up on the 5-minute mark here. And it's a 5-goal lead for North Carolina. And so, Matt, not a lot of time here for the Princeton Tigers to be patient on offense.
No, they're going to have to go to the goal. And again, it's just a tough thing. I don't think they're athletic enough at this point to win their one-on-one matchup. So they're going to have to do a lot of picks inside, pick on balls, and hope North Carolina doesn't communicate well and gets kind of messed up in their matchups.
Chris White for Princeton sends it down low. Tyler Money behind the net. Money got that long pole on him. Gives it up. Low shot and a save made by Madelon.
Low to low, you got to change plans. You're going to drop your stick there. You got to bring the ball to the top portion of the cage.
Now quickly back comes North Carolina, unsettled. Thomas Wood sends for Bitter. Bitter works his way in and then fires a shot high. Billy Bitter, who's been shut out on the day, made a couple of moves, but missed it high as he was decked in front of the crease.
And I'm surprised that he hasn't been able to get a couple dodging goals. He is the player who loves this old type turf where he can cut and turn in the field just a little bit faster than you have in your traditional grass or your new field turf. So it's a little surprised. That speaks to the quality of how well Long Ellis is really playing him on that one-on-one matchup.
I was a little surprised he rushed the shot, to be honest. Up 5, 3.5 minutes to go. Maybe a little bit in his mind that he hasn't scored today. but it was backed up by North Carolina. Now here's a wide open chance. He winding and firing a shot. That time was number 20, Jimmy Dunster. And boy, we've seen a couple of Tar Heels with time to set up and think about it before they get those shots off. That time it was missed by Dunster.
And there's no excuse for Dunster there to miss the cage by that margin. He's too good a lacrosse player to shoot as poorly as he does. He needs to get focused in his delivery and just put it on cage.
And another shot there, and that drew pipe. Big shot from the right wing, Drew Pipe. Let's get a listen to this. And that was Dunster again. So you mentioned his trouble finding the cage. He found it that time, Matt, but just not inside the pipes. So a frustrating couple of shots there for Jimmy Dunster, but he's got to feel good about where his team is. They got a 4-goal lead with 3 minutes and change left.
That's a good question. I do spend a lot of time on the road, and things can tend to be a bit hectic. But you always have to make time to practice. That's essentially really what got me here. You know, it's funny. Most kids always ask me, hey, how hard is it to shoot 111 miles an hour? And for me, they should really be asking, how hard is it to shoot 111 balls before and after practice?
It's 2010. Weren't we supposed to have time machines by now? I mean, if we at Coke Zero can give the world real Coke taste with 0 calories, why can't science give us an unlimited supply of do-overs?
Man, you dance like a man.
I dance like a man?
What? No, wait.
We've bent the rules of taste. Physicist, isn't it time to bend time?
It's an All-American showcase at the Konica Minolta Face-Off Classic. First at 11, top-ranked Syracuse battles Big East foe Georgetown. Then at 1:30, Cornell and Virginia tangle. The Konica Minolta Face-Off Classic, tomorrow at 11 a.m. on ESPNU.
Third floor, Lather Training Center.
Born ready, built tough, hot like a Ford Hemi, muddy, bloody, and bruised up. My sports, everything, anything but ordinary. The crowd standouts know each other by the number, feed off the energy. Sweating in the gym for weeks, the win is within our reach. Body checks, I have you kissing my cleats. The man behind the mask is a maverick, letting off fuck 10 shots for the hat trick.
Old Spice College Lacrosse is brought to you by Old Spice Fiji. Become one of the freshest smelling places on earth. And in part by Sector Spider ETFs. Visit them on the web at sectorspiders.com. And welcome back to Old Spice College Lacrosse. We're here in Princeton, New Jersey. The Princeton Tigers in their home field getting beat right now by North Carolina. And this is just the beginning of a big weekend of college lacrosse on ESPNU. It all continues tomorrow, first at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Number 1 Syracuse facing Big East rival Georgetown. Then at 1:30 Eastern, the 9th-ranked Cornell Big Red taking on the number 2 team in the country, Virginia. The Konica Minolta Face-Off Classic, all that on ESPNU tomorrow. Meanwhile, a loose ball at midfield, and a call goes against Princeton. Offside call, I believe, going against the Tigers there right off the whistle, and so North Carolina is going to get it with a 5-goal lead under 3 minutes to play.
Yeah, that was a tough situation for Princeton. They doubled the ball, they put it on the deck, and Chris McBride picked up the ground ball when he stepped over. A defenseman didn't have enough time to get on the offensive end. So that's a tough play, and for them, they had to take the chance to try to get that ground ball.
Well, Princeton down 5, 2:30 to go. Obviously, they're going to need a minor miracle here, but if they're going to do anything, it's going to require going to the net quickly. At the very least here, Matt, I think the sort of game it's been for Princeton, you just want to have something positive happen at the end of this game. They were up 3-0 in this game in the first few minutes of the first quarter, let's not forget, and since then they've been outscored, do the math, 9-2. Tom Schreiber, the freshman, has it knocked away. North Carolina just has dominated this game since about the midway point of the first quarter. Loose ball, flag flying here really from multiple directions, and that call is going to go against Princeton. Nice play at midfield by North Carolina, and a man was just knocked in the back out of bounds into the bench area, and so I think that call is going to go against Princeton. Maybe a little bit of a frustration call here.
We're having a legal body check, and it's going to be a full 1-minute foul. Mandatory, locked in. 41 white, illegal body check, 1 minute, non-releasable.
Well, there you see the call. Ellis Long, the senior defenseman for Princeton, called on that mandatory 1 minute. And here you see it. This is a call here that I think probably had to be made. The ball was well downfield, and he just lays out Jimmy Dunster.
It's really the first penalty in this game I've kind of agreed with. It was a high hit, and that's the play that the refs really need to protect the players. You can't let these young athletes bring their elbows up to the head of these offensive players.
Well, that'll pretty much seal the deal here for North Carolina as the Tar Heels 4-1 on the road here are going to pick up a win. A timeout called by North Carolina with 1:34 to go in the middle of a mandatory 1 minute man up. So we'll take a break. North Carolina on their way to their 5th win of the season.
It's 2011. Wonder where the Durango's been for the last 2 years? Well, it toured around Europe, getting handling and steering lessons on those sporty European roads. It went back to school, got an advanced degree in technology. It's been working out, more muscle and less fat. It's only been 2 years, but it's done more in 2 years than most cars do in a lifetime.
North Carolina up 9-5, 1:34 to go here, and the Tar Heels on their way to their 5th win of the season here on the road. And Sunday night, ESPNU is going to give you a special edition of The Experts, as host Lowell Galindo and our experts analyzed each and every first-round game in the NCAA tournament bracket. The Experts Tournament Edition, all part of the Tournament Countdown presented by Delta Airlines on ESPNU Sunday at 9:30 Eastern Time. And North Carolina, the basketball version of the Tar Heels, of course, sure to be one of the top seeds in the NCAA tournament this year. Their lacrosse team off to a very good start this season. Billy Bitter with the ball here for the Tar Heels, up 9-5. Goal empty here, you see, for Princeton. They're a man down, and North Carolina not in any hurry to put the ball in the net. You might wonder why they don't shoot, but they're just content to kill clock here, up 9-5. As we come up on 1 minute to go. Now, you see there,
he wants
Mark
that hat
McNeil.
trick.
Yeah, he thought about it.
He wants the hat trick.
The freshman Mark McNeil, number 43, thought about the shot, then thought otherwise. And he sends it back out to Thomas Wood. Under a minute to go. Billy Bitter. One of the rare times you'll see Billy Bitter shut out in a game. Now Wood. A bounce pass across field, stall warning in effect.
And North Carolina is pulling this off perfectly. What I like about it, they have the ball behind the cage. Yeah, there's the end line, which is an extra defenseman, but if Princeton does get it, it prevents them from getting a transition.